What's going on this week in Nerf?
Welcome to This Week in Nerf, your source for first-party, third-party, and community Nerf news. I'm Adriana, and this week it's a whole lot of first-party news. To start us off, Hasbro announced that they're trying to eliminate plastic packaging by 2022. It's awesome they're trying to be so environmentally conscious, and this means I think that our packages are going to get a little bit easier to open too, since they're doing away with elastic bands, shrink wraps, blister packs, window sheets. I, for one, am very excited to see just a cardboard box with my toy inside. I'm sure it takes a lot of effort to be able to basically redesign all of their packaging to meet those goals, and I'm proud of you, Hasbro. Good job. The rival Roundhouse has just shown up at some Walmarts and Targets and is also available on Amazon. So for $25, you get 15 round capacity and typical stock rival Springer performance. And those 15 rounds are in 5 integrated magazines that rotate around to fire. And I just absolutely love this design's callback to the Maverick, and I cannot wait to get my hands on one. They look really comfortable to hold also. A lot of the rival blasters are just ergonomically successful. They may not be on everyone's shelf yet, but I'd expect the rollout to finish fairly soon. The Ultra 2 is also on select shelves and online at walmart.com. There are already a couple of reviews up and even some basic mod guides, and if you want to check out my review, that's up in this little corner, so you can click that if you want to hear my thoughts on the blaster. But long story short, for $25 you get 6 rounds of rear-loading flywheel revolver fun. It is a beautiful blaster, and it's just got an incredible mechanical feeling action. The smoothness of that trigger pull is just so good, and the clack, it genuinely feels amazing to fire. Unfortunately, it does suffer from, ultra performance, similarly to the one, but wink wink, there might be some things in the works to solve that problem. So why do I say that like it's a problem that needs to be solved? Well, simply put, the Ultra Darts are just not very good. And there was an analysis video posted this week to prove just that. And if you don't think science is interesting, skip to this timestamp. Engineering After Hours made this video intending to celebrate the release of Ultra being a new ammo type and how innovative of a thing it is for the community. But he ended up capturing a lot of footage proving otherwise. He actually has some of the best examples of the failings of the darts, showing the exit trajectories and how they don't correct themselves and the crazy accuracy spread because of that. We already knew that they weren't great, but he also showed some simulations to show us why. And we do have to start this with the assumption that the Aerofin technology is not just some marketing hokey, allowing them to make difficult to reproduce darts, and are actually meant to stabilize darts in the air and correct their flight path. So giving Hasbro the benefit of the doubt there, it just doesn't work. In a practical test, it's easy to see that a dart that leaves the blaster crooked will remain crooked and wild. And shooting the dart through a long, straight pipe, it left very, very straight and remained very, very straight and accurate. And that in itself, in a physical test, proves that the Aerofin technology does nothing to actually change the dart's trajectory or stabilize it in any way in the air. And he also ran some simulations comparing the Ultra shape to a simple cylindrical body and also to a more rocket-style dart. And while it's not surprising at all that the rocket performed the best, what is surprising is that the Ultra shape performed nearly identically to just a cylinder. And that kind of confirms my belief that the existence of the Ultra is just a marketing ploy to allow them to create a shape that no one else is allowed to reproduce. And it's just frustrating. But thank you so much to Engineering After Hours for posting this incredibly clean, concise, and science-based video. I wholly suggest people watch that. The link to it is in the description. And now that we know that the basic cylindrical darts perform just as well as the ultra-shaped darts, take a look at Messenger 91's homemade Ultima Darts. Basically, he cuts 5/8 foam backer rod down to size, printed out some head molds, and mixed up a batch of polyurethane rubber and casted some dart heads. Just glue them together and then boom, homemade Ultra Darts. That's super clever, and I'm not sure how cost efficient it is compared to just buying them, but 50 cents a dart, it's probably cheaper to make them yourself. They are a bit heavier than stock darts, so I'm a little wary about safety. I need to see them in person to really give an opinion there, but in the video, the heads at least seem flexible and bouncy. And I know there are some old world modders out there who are at least a little bit excited to start making their own darts again. The Alpha Strike Flyte has finally shown its face, and it's a face only a mother could love. Thanks so much to Sometimes Awesome 36 for spotting this at Walmart before it was even on the shelf. So this blaster is very boxy and it has a bulbous battery tray. I'm not a fan of how that looks. I am happy about the very solid grip, but the skeletonized stock on the back is not a good look, and I don't think that it's removable. I'm also not a fan of the mag release being inside of the trigger well, so you have to like hit it with your finger. I normally use my thumb to pull out my mags. I know that's personal preference, but that's where my preference lies. I do like the slant holes in the mag well. That's a really interesting aesthetic choice, but all of the other markings on the blaster feel like they're penciled in, like they didn't commit to a design. They're just like, it's kind of what I like. It's just a little bit disappointing. On the insides, how does it perform? Well, it seems like it performs just like any stock modern flywheeler. Nothing special, nothing terrible there. The cage is not compatible with this drive, so something new will have to be designed for that. And it's held together by just 2 screws and mostly clips. So be very, very careful when you're assembling and disassembling this thing, because if you break a clip, that is very difficult to replace. It's the first flywheel blaster from the Alpha Strike budget line, and that's definitely something. That's a milestone, and it's currently priced at $20, which sounds cheap until you think about you can get a Strife on Amazon for $1 more. Choose wisely. And this week's mod of the week is from Arizona Sama, who has created a horrible monster. This is a full auto Caliburn. Dual stage brushless motors, it uses a solenoid pusher, and it has select fire, so it doesn't necessarily have to be full auto, but let's be real, why wouldn't you? It's probably super comfortable to hold. All the weight of the solenoid is right above the handle, so that'd feel really good and balanced, I think. I'd actually really like to hold this blaster, but my favorite part, the best part of this blaster, is that the trigger still interacts with the sear, and the sear is what pushes the micro switch. It's silly, and I don't know why you did this, but I like looking at it, so good job, Arizona Sama. Keep it up. And that's the news! Thank you so much for watching. All of the links to the things I talked about are in the description, and also somewhere down there is a subscribe button that you should probably click. That would make me very happy. I hear you in the comments talking about my hair, and you should just calm down, because it'll be blue again next week. Chill. It's okay. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. A blaster that leaves the blaster crooked, and I should have had more to say, yeah. This week there was the exit trajectory. Eliminating, this week there was take a look at Messenger 99, awesome. Do the thing that YouTubers tell you to do, and yeah, that's it. I hope you have a good day. One of these outros, this is an outro. One of these outros is fine.